Lex at LexReads, and today I'm going to be talking about all of the things that I read in January. It's crazy to think that the first month of the year has already come and went. I have read 8 books this month. I don't know if you've been here for a while or not, but historically, that is an amazing reading month for me. My goal for the year was 35 books, if you haven't seen my reading goals video, and I'm at like almost 25%. I'm at like 22% read. So I might have to bump my goal up, which is exciting. So I'm going to be talking about the books that I read. I said in my goals video that I want to start doing like a word count for how many words of fan fiction that I read, and then at the very end I'll tell you the movies that I watched this month in theater. The first book I read this year was Murder Trending by Gretchen McNeil. I gave this 2 out of 5 stars. I really didn't like it. I've talked about it in a couple of other videos. I've kind of already aired out my grievances, but because it's a wrap-up, I'll shove them in here. I DNF'd it once in 2019 because I was bored. I didn't care that much about any of the characters. The stakes, for as much murder as there is in this book, the stakes felt sub-zero. Like, it felt like there were no stakes. Like, nothing at stake. I wasn't really worried about anyone. When characters died, I was like, bummer. Like, I just didn't care. So I will not be picking up Murder Funding. We started off the year on a real low note. But lucky for me, the next book I picked up is one of my favorite reads of the year so far, These Witches Don't Burn by Isabel Sterling. This is an own voices book. The main character is a lesbian. There's a bisexual love interest. We have a trans man character, as well as a couple other lesbian characters. It's like half mystery, half witchy business, which, if you know anything about me at this point, those are 2 of my favorite elements of a story. I love me a mystery, and I love me some witchy business. So, we follow our protagonist, Hannah, who is an elemental witch in a coven in Salem, Massachusetts. And she had, about a couple months ago, she had an experience in New York with a run-in with a blood witch who is now out to kill her. Back in Salem, she thinks that the blood witch has found her. Bad things start happening around the town. Some people get murdered. There's some like blood rituals. And we, alongside Hannah, are trying to figure out who is the culprit. I gave it 5 stars. I did see the like twist at the end coming about a third of the way through the book. And I was kind of bummed about it because the character was one of my favorite characters in the book. The sequel comes out in a couple months, and I will be picking it up. Loved it. Chef's kiss. Mwah. Mwah. Next, I wanted to pick up something a little bit darker. This is The Merciless by Danielle Vega. This book is about a girl who moves to a new town with her family and gets caught up with this group of people, is woken up in the middle of the night, dragged out by the like leader of their group, and gets involved in an exorcism. This book is considered YA horror. There were some moments that were genuinely like a little bit creepy and a little bit disturbing. YA horror doesn't typically like get me the way that adult horror does. But overall, it was a really enjoyable read. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. There's like 6 of these books, and I don't think I'm going to pick up any of the rest of them. And I'm also considering dropping this to 4 stars because after having read more books this month, I just don't think it's quite at the caliber of some of the other ones. So I might drop this to 4 stars, but as of right now, 5 out of 5 stars. Next, I reread Imposters by Scott Westerfeld. This book, still a 5 out of 5 stars. It was one of my favorite books of 2018. We follow Frey and Raffia, who are two twins who were raised as the same person. Frey is the body double for Raffia anytime Raffia is in a situation at which she might get assassinated. Their father is like essentially this dictator of the city of Shreve. He wants to mine for metal in Victoria and offers up his daughter, who they think is Raffia, but they send Frey as like a hostage to the royal family of Victoria. So we follow Frey's story. 5 out of 5 stars. Highly recommend. Scott Westerfeld is one of my favorite writers, and the reason I reread Imposters was so I could finally get to Shatter City, which is the second book in the Imposters series. I think there's going to be 4 of them, if I do recall correctly. This is just following the aftermath of book 1. 5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely adored it. Is anyone surprised? I'm not. The next book that I read in January is Grim Lovelies by Megan Shepherd. This one I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. It's good. I like it. I'll probably pick up the next one. The one thing I think the thing that dropped this from a 5 to a 4 star for me is that we had some LGBT rep in this book. We have a gay character and we have a trans character. The gays get buried, y'all. Just the one as far as we are aware. But the one character that is murdered is the gay one. Also, there were a couple sequences where I got a little bit bored. I saw all of the, twists coming. But anyway, this follows Anouk and her found family / co-workers who are Beasties, which means that they are animals that have been enchanted to be human. Their mistress, their witch, is murdered and they are blamed, so they go on this wild goose chase / heist to not necessarily clear their name. They're not really concerned about clearing their name as much as they're concerned about staying human, because 48 hours after a witch dies, all of her enchantments wear off. So we're following that. 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read a couple more books, but I'm not going to tell you what they are or what I rated them, because they're for a very special secret TBRN wrap-up for a video that is coming out on the 27th of February, so keep your eye out for that. I can tell you that they are 2 of my favorite books of the year. So they are up there with These Witches Don't Burn and Shatter City. They're really good. So like I said, I plan on telling you how much fan fiction that I read this month. Are you ready for the current total number? It's a big one. I've read 279,323 words of fan fiction in the month of January. For a little bit of context, The Hunger Games is about a little over 99,000 words. And that's about 300 pages? So I've read almost 3 lengths of The Hunger Games in fan fiction alone. So while I have read 8 physical books at this point, I've read the amount of between 10 and 13, depending on how long the books I'm reading are. The shortest fan fiction I read this month was a one-shot that was 1,919 words. And the longest fan fiction I read this month is 57,123 words. In case you didn't know, I am a movie connoisseur. I have seen 5 movies in theaters this month. I saw Little Women, which I gave 5 out of 5 stars. Bombshell, which I give 4 out of 4 stars. Just Mercy, which so far is my favorite film of the year, 5 out of 5 stars. Doolittle, which I gave 3 out of 5 stars, and 1917, which I gave 5 out of 5 stars. Little Women and 1917 are very close to Just Mercy for my favorite movie of the year so far, but, you know, we'll see. Alright, so that is all of the major content that I devoured in the month of January. Thank you so much for watching. My February TBR will be out very soon. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys very soon. Oh, just kidding. I post a new video every Thursday, sometimes bonus content on Tuesdays or other days of the week, usually Tuesdays. This one's not a Tuesday, so this proves that sometimes my extra video is not on a Tuesday. In all of January and also for all of February, there will be 2 videos a week, so be sure to head down, hit subscribe, or just go to my channel and check out some of my other videos. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you very soon.